Hello, this is Eitan Shalom at the Body Mind Wellness Center, and I'm here with my patient who had a really bad motorcycle accident and broke his pelvis and has some other problems, but he's here really for his shoulder. I'm sorry, what was the injury to your shoulder? Remind me.
I developed a rotator cuff
Yeah.
issue.
He developed rotator cuff injury, not from the accident, but as a result of what he was doing to rehab his accident.
The compensation I had to use because I broke my humerus. I couldn't use my left side.
Right. So he was overusing his right side, and he, at this point, after I think you've had 5 treatments and also physical therapy and the passage of time, he does not have pain at rest any longer. He did when I first met him, but he does have pain with certain activities like picking up a 50-pound child, which I've counseled him to try to avoid doing, and certain movements that he does, like leaning his arm forward to grab something when he's lying on his right side, which I've also counseled him, try not to lie on your right side until you're all better. But anyway, so what have I done here? Let me get a little closer. I have done 3 upper trapezius points. Oops, sorry. 1, 2, and 3. These are all in the upper trapezius. They're all trigger points. One of them is a motor point. And I've done a couple of motor points in the rhomboid and the infraspinatus here. And the infraspinatus, which begins, sorry, bad camera, crosses over the shoulder joint and attaches to the top of the humerus. And so I've also done, okay, I can't look through the camera and see what I'm talking about. I've also done the motor point of the posterior deltoid here. And then I've done a bunch of trigger points in the triceps. This is all the triceps. And so I have found with rotator cuff injury that the triceps is always involved, which sounds kind of weird, but it's not. And when you release the triceps, you always get a better result. And look how many needles he has in the triceps. Those were all active trigger points. So release the trigger points in the triceps, stimulate the motor points in the infraspinatus, release the trigger points in the posterior deltoid, and then so now I've done electrical stim. I'm sure you can see the muscle moving. This is a very comfortable level of electrical stim, and right. So I've attached, because this was so strong even when I pressed on it, it hurt a lot. And when I needled, it really jumped. So I've actually attached this one to that one. So I'm getting a large swath of the upper trapezius. I'm needling, I've attached the infraspinatus motor point to one of the motor points on the rhomboid. And then we've got the posterior deltoid here, yellow to yellow, and then the infraspinatus trigger point where the muscle crosses the shoulder joint, and that's a very powerful one. That's a really strong one. I had pain in my shoulder for years until I got my acupuncturist, who does dry needling. I got him to needle the hell out of that point, and then I needled it myself at home 3 times, and it's never bothered me since. I also would dig that into the corner of a piece of furniture and do acupressure or shiatsu trigger. Well, really, it's called ischemic compression in medicine, trigger point release. It's like shiatsu, where you hold a steady, even pressure for 2 minutes and breathe into it. And so that's never bothered me since. That's the miracle of dry needling. And so this is the triceps. So it's going from the infraspinatus to the triceps. Do you feel this in your triceps now? Right here where I'm touching?
A little bit.
A little bit? What about here?
I feel you touching it.
Okay, well, let's turn that one up a little bit. And, Okay, this is the one with no tape on it. Okay, tell me if you feel it more now. Sorry for the terrible, abysmal camera. It's really hard to hold the camera correctly while you're looking at this stuff here. Is that getting strong?
Yeah.
In the triceps?
Yeah.
Good, excellent. Is that too much? That's okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, we're all done. So I'm going to leave him for 5 more minutes, unless he says he's ready to get up. And then I'll take these out, and then we'll turn them over. And I still have to do the biceps tendon on the front side. And I will also examine his subscapularis, which is the muscle that originates on the inside of the scapula and attaches to the underneath of the arm. Right? Is that actually? I can't remember what it attaches to, but I sure as hell know where the motor point is. So if that motor point is really tender, then I'll definitely needle it. And it often is a component of rotator cuff. I've got videos on YouTube of needling the subscapularis. It's a lot of fun. I use that word sort of sarcastically. It's I wouldn't say anybody loves being needled there. Well, I like being needled there. I have in the past. When I had a torn labrum, that's when I first got that needled, and it was immensely helpful. And so it's really useful with people with chronic rotator cuff or any kind of rotator cuff issue, because it will often be locked tight, and we release that by needling the motor point. That tells the rest of the muscle to let go and to return to their normal length. Eitan Shalom here at the Body Mind Wellness Center in San Diego. Thank you for tuning in.